Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the All Four Downs podcast. I'm your host, Ovi, and in this episode, we're talking about college football. That's right, the pros and cons on the college football playoffs, some upcoming news already squandering and getting hot already, and Michigan already facing suspension, and the comparison of the top 25 and much, much more. So let's get to it here. All right, here we go with first down. And do we need more teams in the college football playoffs? Do we? I mean, listen, I understand the top 12 teams are making it to the playoffs, right? We got the seedings correct that the top four teams and the college football committee, what they seem or seem to be fit, is that the top four teams will get a bye week, right? And then, of course, after that, whoever are conference champions will slot in the top 12. And then everyone else, of course, according to what the vote is, will be in the college football playoffs. 12 teams to narrow it down to the champion. But is it necessary to, I don't know, have 14, 18, maybe 24, 28? I mean, are we looking at this like college basketball, right? Where they already have 68 teams, and even they are trying to establish more teams to be involved in March Madness. Listen, I'm all in for football, and I always say I love football. I miss it. But is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Because here's the pros on all this. Yes, it increased access to fairness, right? More teams have more eligibility to get at least a taste to get in to the championship, right? More exciting games, possibly, right? The expansion means more high stakes playoff games. Early rounds could feature unique matches that we don't usually see, like the SEC versus the Pac-12, maybe. Once they get big, the Big 10, the Big 12, maybe we see champion versus champions. I mean, there's a lot to go through this, right? The revenues especially is going to grow, right? More games means more TV contracts, ticket sales, sponsorships, you name it. And then the player exposure, because now more players are being exposed and just getting their face on the screen, and also promotes maybe a draft pick. You never know. And the regular season impact is still strong, right? Maybe we avoid playing other teams outside the conference and have all the teams play only conference games only, right? Maybe it'll work well, and then you add so many more games, because ironically, some that have a 12-game schedule play 8 games or 9 games within their conference. So let's take away from that. Maybe just play 8 regular season games and then go straight to the playoffs. Does that sound good? Again, it's debatable, right? But this is what leads to why there's a lot of cons, like a lot of disagreements on this. Are we thinking about the players' health and fatigue? The more games means higher risk of injuries, especially for unpaid college football players. Potential burnout with a long season. I mean, listen, if we start adding more teams to the playoffs, that's like the college football season will be longer than the NFL. And on top of that, the NFL is trying to add more games to their schedule. But if you take a look at it, man, I'm like, where's the safety in all this? We go through concussion protocol and everything else, injuries, the way you schedule games, you play on the weekend, and all of a sudden you play in the middle of the week. It takes a toll on the body. It really does. Okay? The dilution of the regular season drama and a 14-team format, maybe, 12-team format. There's just so much going on there. The competitive balance is also a concern, right? And then the academic and travel burden, right? Are they going to fulfill everything? Or are we going to see more sanctions from the NCAA because players can't get their grades up? No. And then the tradition versus change, that's a big one. And that is a very big one. Okay. So where are we on this? All right. And what does it mean when you add more teams? What happens to the classic bowls, that like the Rose Bowl and everything else that goes along with it? Right? Is it going to be fair across the board? Right? Or is it going to be a tremendous long season and we're just gonna see just football. And now, the product or everything starts to fail. I don't know. There's a lot to this, man. A lot. I understand that in a sense, having a 12-team playoff right now and implementing the first rounds and then the bowl games that go along with it, the prestige has went up. I like that idea. You keep the players to play. And with the NIL and everything else, keep the players playing the game, right? Have some value and pride in this game instead of opting out because so-called you want to make the draft and stuff like that. I'm just saying. All right, I think they really need to reconsider all this and just leave it a 12 team. Let's leave it like that. And with that, we're going to move on to second down. A fine. Like, look, there's a lot of words on here, right? And this is all reference to the Michigan football. And that's purposely why I put that there. Okay. The NCAA went ahead and sanctioned the Michigan Wolverines. They created their punishment, right? They gave them a fine. And on top of all that, the leader, the head coach, Jim Harbaugh, who left Michigan to head coach the San Diego Chargers. Man, is that guy just got away with everything. Honestly, under his watch, he is the head coach. Shouldn't the head coach take responsibility for the team's action? Oh no, you don't do that. You get to go and leave the organization and jump ship somewhere else. Because, by the way, you are the NFL head coach. You're untouchable. But for Sharon Moore, well, he gets an additional game suspension. He's already suspended 2 games, which was awarded or not awarded, what was given to him within the organization. Now the NCAA added 1 more. Okay, what does that mean? All right, let's just put this down. Let's put it this way so everyone understands. Moore will miss 2 games, specifically weeks 3 and 4. That's Central Michigan, the home game, and then a game on the road against Nebraska. This was part of a self-imposed suspension by Michigan that happened last year. But in 2026, the NCAA said, right, for those games, only 1 game, which is the first game of the season, which they're right now, that game was supposed to be in Germany versus Western Michigan. So he is suspended right there. So a total of 3 games, 2 this year and 1 next season. But there's a show cause order. There's a 2-year show cause penalty for Moore. And what does that mean? It restricts him for the ability to coach a collegiate athletic, organization. Should he leave Michigan, he won't be hired, and then whoever wants to buy his contract or whatever it is, they have to go in front of the NCAA committee and express or prove that we need him as a head coach somewhere else. And I doubt that's going to happen. As far as Harbaugh, he has a 10-year show cause penalty. That means between now and 10 years from now, Jim Harbaugh cannot get hired. He cannot get hired in any collegiate level. Why would he anyway? 10 years? You mean you predict that maybe Harbaugh won't last that long with the San Diego Chargers and come on back? Dude, Jim Harbaugh's already set for life. I'm just telling you right there. Okay? But with all that, Michigan has fines they got to pay and everything else. What does that mean? Look, the Michigan Wolverines are still going to play football. That's all it is. But what's mind-boggling is why you wait now to give those. When the season's about to start, you're going to go ahead and do that. I don't understand why it goes to so much length just to finalize an investigation. Okay? Now, I don't get it. And then the real players are not really involved or not there. Right? Maybe Moore has something to do with it. He got fined. But just remember, he was the offensive coordinator. Let it be. Okay? Just let it be. I'm just saying. There's a lot of former assistant coaches and stuff like that got penalized and not even working. And I'm like, why are you wasting your time? Now, on the other hand, This is the type of penalty that was supposed to ban Michigan from the playoffs, but that didn't happen. And so that gives another room for the media to address that. Like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Well, it's a new era. What good does it get when coaches are committing a crime for sign stealing and stuff like that? Look, everybody's doing it. Honestly, if you're not trying to get an edge and upper hand, I mean, whatever. I mean, Michigan got caught. Somebody rubbed them the wrong way, and information's leaked out and everything else, and there it is. But it's just like baseball or basketball. Everyone's sign stealing. Everyone's trying to get an edge aside. Change it up. Do what you're supposed to do. I think all of this is just childish and everything else, man. Just let the kids play football and just let it be. Let it be. Just saying. Let's move on to third down. Top 25. All right. Last episode that I had with college football, I gave my take on my top 25 comparing to the coaches poll. Right. Got Oregon at number 1. Texas is number 1. But I did say that the AP poll was going to come out a week later. It's going to have some replica to the coaches poll. But this time around, they were trying to be different. It was. They tried to rearrange the order. Look, the top 6 is the same thing. Honestly, top 6 is the same thing. Except it's just a little bit different order. That's all. They agreed Texas should be number 1. Why not? Arch Manning is the guy, right? Okay. Okay. I'm just saying, like, why? I mean, did you not see Texas versus Georgia last year in Texas? Do you think it's going to be a difference when Texas go on the road at Georgia? I'm already predicting Georgia's going to win this game. Let them know. I mean, look, I know Texas is going to play Ohio State. That's going to be an awesome game. Yeah, number 1, number 2 in the coaches poll, but it's not like that in AP. Number 1 versus number 3. All right, so depending on how you look at it, someone's going to fall, but how far? And what will be the final score? Just saying. But yeah. But then I'm adding the Yahoo Sports. Yes, Yahoo Sports. They got their top 25. And I was surprised. I thought maybe, everyone's on board with Texas. No. Yahoo Sports has Clemson at number 1. And Penn State. Listen, Penn State across the board is one of the top 4 teams right now. Okay, I got it. But I'm still missing out as Penn State not playing these games. Penn State got the easiest schedule, right? Until they face Ohio State. That's what it looks like right now. Okay? It's like you got that one hard game, and then you're going to squeeze on by and say, yeah. And then when the game counts, especially in the playoffs, you don't show up, right? That's exactly what it looks like. This is the top 25 of all 4 polls, right? And moving on, focusing on the top 10 right here. Again, Texas across the board, Penn State, 3 out of the 4 that's listed there. And then everybody else, Oregon, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and Clemson. It's going to be a fabulous season. And I predict that all these teams, Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, Penn State, and Clemson, all these schools will be in the college football playoffs. I'll be surprised if any of these teams would have at least 3 losses. I don't predict that any of these teams will have 3 losses. Matter of fact, at average, maybe 1 or 2 losses. That's it. And it's going to be all right. And the competition is going to be real. And the top 12 teams, the right top 12 teams will make it. And it's going to be the most competitive. And I'm saying this right now, the most competitive postseason in college football history. 4th down. Final whistle. Bottom line is this. Hey, play the game. Let's just play the game. Michigan has always been on the radar with some penalties and stuff. I think they got the most in the last few years. Under Jim Harbaugh, now more, everything else. Look, bottom line is, don't steal. Play the game right. Do what you're supposed to do. Not violate, recruitings and stuff like that. It's going to happen. Now you got more stuff to follow. They're going to do money shows probably. I don't know, when it comes to the NIL deals and stuff like that. We're doing it right. What? There's always going to be an argumentative point. Okay. But the bottom line is, look, football season's around. Let's get rid of this negativity. Let's focus on these good games that's happening this year. Oh, yeah, it's going to be solid. Week 1 is already looking like a playoff. Yes. Look at them schedules. If you're in the local area of your college football, man, go visit that team. Go support. Do what you got to do, man. Because, man, Saturdays, it's going to be lit. I'm telling you. With college football here, and then the following week, a start of the NFL season, man, this is going to be so much news about football. I'm loving it. I'm sure you will. Write your comments below. Tell me how you feel about today's episode. Leave a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel and everything else. I'll be back next week to talk more and get close to the picks. Finally, we got picks this week. College football this weekend, the opener. Oh, yeah. That's right. Iowa State versus Kansas State. Stay tuned.